the practice of mindfulness really invites us to, as much as we can, whenever possible, tap into our ability to dive down out of our mind and into our bodies. And that can look like doing practices like we do each week here, where we just sit for 15 or 20 minutes and do a guided mindfulness practice. Or it can also be when we're at work or when we're busy throughout the day taking care of chores or errands, just inviting ourselves to step out of our thought mind and those habitual um, habits of thinking and often replaying and rehashing the past or worrying about the future, and really just pausing that channel in our minds and switching back down into actually what's in front of us. And so the practice that we'll do today is a pretty foundational mindfulness practice where we'll just be getting curious about grounding ourselves in the body and just doing a basic opportunity to be present for the next 15 to 20 minutes. So allowing our mind to press the pause button on our thoughts. And so to do the practice, we'll just go ahead and get comfortable. And you can choose to either sit up or to lie down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And it's best to pick a posture that's pretty self-sustaining, so avoiding kind of slouching back in the chair if you're sitting up, and just choosing to sit upright so your spine is nice and straight and steady, because when we're not in a posture that feels grounded, the mind can often get pulled in different directions, and our muscles can also get a little bit tense because they're not in a natural position, a natural resting position for the body. So go ahead and get comfortable, and you can choose to either leave your eyes open with a soft gaze down, so not really looking around the room, but maybe just gazing at the floor in front of you, allowing the eyes to be soft. And for some people, this is actually more helpful than closing the eyes, because it does, in a way, help us to stay grounded in the moment that we're in, and can sometimes help to turn the volume down on our thoughts when we're still conscious about what's in front of us. But often people also find it comfortable to close their eyes, so just choose whichever one you'd like to practice today. And we'll start the practice by just first becoming aware of the body. So we've been going through our day from one place to another, chores, errands, or work, and often our attention is pulled outside of the body into our external environment. And so for these next 15 minutes, we'll be reminding ourselves that the body is present here. So to get settled, you can become aware of the posture of the body. And just picture the body with its limbs arranged in the torso. And take a moment to picture the body as its skeletal parts. So just briefly scanning from the feet up, just imagining all the bones, the metatarsals and phalanges, the ankle joint, the tibia and fibula, the patella, the knee joint and the femurs, and the femoral heads in their acetabular joints. and the pelvis. And just becoming aware of the vertebrae, the lumbar vertebrae, imagining them continuing up from the pelvis to the thoracic vertebrae and the rib cage. Just picturing the bones holding the chest cavity. Continuing up the vertebrae to the cervical vertebrae and the shoulder blades, resting like wings on the back. Becoming aware of the scapulohumeral joint, the shoulder joint, and imagining the humerus coming off of each scapular joint down towards the elbows, and the radius and the ulna of each arm, continuing down to the wrist and all the carpal bones. You can picture an x-ray of one of our patients and just imagine the same complexity of bones in our own wrists, allowing so much movement of the wrists. You might choose to go ahead and rotate your wrists slowly, allowing the radius and ulna to move and those carpal bones to adjust. Just becoming aware of the complexity of movement available to us in the wrists. And continuing down to the metacarpals in our hands, in the phalanges, in each bone of the fingers, to the fingertips. And then coming back to our cervical vertebrae and following them up to the axis and the atlas, holding the skull at the base of the skull. You might choose to move your chin up and down slightly and tilt the head side to side, just softly. Just picturing those bones flexing in the neck and even the upper back as the head moves. And even picturing the skull and the back of the skull and the front and the eyes resting in their orbits. And there's this beautiful, complex organism that is our body that we often take for granted. And all of these bones and muscles supporting us, allowing us movement throughout the day. And so whenever we do a mindfulness practice like this and become aware of the body, even just at the beginning of a practice, bringing to mind the body and its component parts, it's helpful to bring a sense of gratitude for our ability to move through the world. And just acknowledge this spacesuit of a body that we're in for this life. You can even become aware of the body as it's resting here in this moment. And notice the contact points of the body with the chair beneath us, or the cushion, or the bed. And feeling that pressure of the ischial tuberosities or the sit bones. And the feet resting on the floor. And so in this way, we're in contact with our external environment. And even having gravity hold us here, the forces of the earth. And so even in this moment at rest, there's a sense of connection with the environment around the body, with the planet and its forces. And this too is a gift, just like the body. And bodies change and get older, and aches and pains can occur. And all of them witness to the life that we've had so far. And this connection with our environment goes even further. As we're resting, we'll notice that the body is breathing. Always moving constantly in the background of our experience, the breath in and out. And so you might find it helpful to just take 2 or 3 deeper breaths in and out. Just feeling the movement of the body as it adjusts to allow oxygen and room air into our lungs. And as we continue breathing, just inviting a sense of letting go and relaxation with the out breath. In this body, we can often hold tension unknowingly in our shoulders or our neck or our back. So just in these moments, allowing gravity to do its work fully, just relaxing into that pull towards the earth. Allowing the arms to be heavy. Allowing the shoulders to drop just a little bit further towards the floor. Feeling the weight of the forearms in the lap. And as we invite this sense of letting go, of releasing tension, just becoming aware if you notice if any sensation is more present or available to you as the body relaxes and softens. We can often notice much more about what's happening in the body. So we might notice the slight movement of the arms with the breath. Slight shifting out and in. And even noticing the shifting of the clothing on the skin with the breath, perhaps at the shoulders or the upper back. So just taking a moment to feel into the breath as it's moving through the body. Just imagining it like a wave on the shore, rolling in and out. It's this natural cycle of life. It's constant exchange of oxygen for carbon dioxide. And if the mind wanders, just noticing that too and gently inviting it back to the present moment in the body, to the breath. And there's nowhere to go, nothing to do in this moment, just allowing the mind to rest. To be present. Diving down out of the thought mind and into the body. Just like a refuge. Always here. Always present. The body and breath available in each moment. Every day. Always with us. So, in a way, even savoring this ability for us to just feel and be. We live so much of our lives from the neck up. We often forget our ability to be embodied, to become aware of our other senses. So much of life is an autopilot. And so the opportunity to become grounded like this, even for a few moments throughout the day, can be so beneficial to our minds. And as we bring our practice together to a close, just feeling in again once more to the contact points of the body with the chair or the cushion, our feet on the floor, the arms resting in the lap. Just noticing the sensation of light behind the eyelids. Or colors in our visual field, if our eyes are softly open. Becoming aware of the temperature in the room, any sounds around us, the space that we're in, perhaps the furniture in the room, either people or animals around us. And the external environment too. The plants and trees around us, the wildlife, and the sun. And even all the excitement that's happening today on this holiday, people out with family and friends, connecting, just becoming aware of that greater community that we're a part of. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the group. So, as you go about the rest of your day, if you found it helpful to touch into the body together for this brief practice, just to encourage you, as you're moving around, maybe doing chores or spending time with loved ones or taking a walk, just to take the opportunity to check in with your body. We are often lost in thought, even when we're with family and friends or loved ones. So just taking in all the sights and sounds around you, the feeling of sun on the skin, the motion of the body as it's walking, just breathing in life. Every opportunity that we have to touch into this ability to be present helps us to stay more grounded and makes it more possible for us to tap into the same presence when we're feeling particularly challenged or stressed. So, in a way, we're exercising the muscle of the mind, creating a new habit to not just go on autopilot and into thought, which can often be negative, but to instead tap into the present moment in all of the ways it's available to us. So I hope that you all enjoy a wonderful rest of your day.